theme of this week has kind of become a thing. We've shifted from health, fitness, happiness, and getting that under control, because when you have that under control, then you're golden and you can start achieving goals, income, future stuff, like the big things, and maybe starting a business or whatever it is that you want to do, or just thriving in your own life. So that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to keep going on the topic of income, money. We're going to start talking about social media, growth, all of that type of stuff, branding and all of that. But how to potentially earn an income. And today we're talking about a side hustle, because a side hustle can maybe start out as a passion project, something that makes you happy, and you're trying to solve a problem for someone or for yourself, and it ends up being the thing that becomes your full-time job and changes the course of your life. And that's what it was for me. Now, you're going to hear me talk about this a lot. If you have never heard me talk about this before, I'm about to blow your mind. In this past year, I have built something called the Content Machine Academy. It is unbelievable. I've talked about it quite a bit on my social media. There is a full content machine, build a content machine page on Instagram where I give free business tips, free branding tips, all the things. But in that academy, I literally have a full module that I'm going to kind of go through quickly with you today, like a little portion of it, but all of these different options of how to create a side hustle, different income streams that you can literally, how to monetize your efforts on social media from the comfort of your own home and how to create that. So obviously, to me, the number one option is what I did, because I was a super shy human. I still kind of am. I'm very introverted. I just wouldn't say that I'm like that shy anymore, but I'm super introverted. I like my space. So being able to build an income from home and be able to work on my clock and not have to answer to a boss was huge for me. So whenever I became a coach, I wasn't really expecting for it to be like this big thing, and we are now the number one team. I am currently considered the number one coach in Canada, the number one coach across the world, which is insane. So and a lot of you guys probably know this, what I do, plain and simple, I am a Beachbody coach. I started this because I liked insanity. Like, that is my full-time job. It is now Andre's full-time job too. Like, that blows my mind. But it just started as a passion project, and I loved it. And it's what so many coaches on our team have come to find has become their full-time job. It's honestly, to me, like, I never thought that it would be such a life-changing opportunity, considering that I didn't even really like to work out that much, but it was what the happiness levels brought me and the workouts brought me. So I think that it's the best option ever, but there is a bajillion other options in terms of a side hustle. So I'm not just going to talk about what I do, but if you ever do want mentorship on that, I have a free 3-day, well, if you're slow, it's 3 days, but you can mash it out in one day. I have a free academy that I created that is how I built this thing, what we do on Team Uproar. So if you want more information on what a coach does on Team Uproar, just go to my website. I'll leave it down below too, but it just says join my team, and there's a video on there. But if you want more information, just fill out the form and we will get back to you, and I will send you all the details for that. But what I want you to do is think about the different options, and I'll give you some of them. There are different options in terms of affiliates. You can have an affiliate link for a certain product, and you might see people doing this all the time, and I'm going to debunk a couple of illusions for you real quick. There's obviously AdSense and ad money on YouTube. There is having an Etsy shop. I know a lot of small business owners that turn into big time business owners because they love what they do so much, and they've created such an amazing business for themselves. And not only in terms of income, but in terms of freedom, which I love. Like, just freedom in terms of time, and freedom in terms of being able to do what they want when they want, which I love. But some illusions in terms of this is, being sponsored by certain companies. It is something that I have come to find can be absolutely ridiculous, and you can get completely taken advantage of. And this happens because you don't know your own worth. And this happened to me, where I would take a free pair of leggings as payment and be taken through the ringer in terms of exposure and sharing things on my social media and having to work for this person. This is really no different than having a freaking boss at this point. So we haven't really created any freedom. And that was something that I had to learn the difficult way for myself. So when you do see people being sponsored, they're literally earning a 5 to 10% commission, maybe 15 if they're lucky. And it's on a couple of different pieces. So really, let's say on the high end, 80 to $100 in terms of commissions on leggings. Or could you just go buy the free leggings yourself and have your own thriving business and not be, dangled by a puppet master? That's kind of how I see brand deals, honestly. And it's often way too good to be true. More often than not. But it is this shiny thing that so many people are like, I want to be sponsored. unless, and I've had great experiences, but for the most part, it is something that does not fuel my soul because I don't feel that sense of freedom. One thing also that I want to debunk is this thing of I'm going to turn on ads on YouTube and make $1 bajillion. This is why, by the way, on this channel, you'll rarely ever see ads because it's not worth it to me. I would rather you just get the information, get out, and not have to sit through an ad. On my main channel, I have it turned on some videos, and I get this comment all the time. Thank you for not turning it on in the middle and end. I don't see it as that big of a shift in terms of income at all. I think that it is a totally false perception that YouTubers are millionaires because of their videos. They're millionaires because they end up having side sponsorships with big brand deals like Revlon or whatever, like, I don't know, big makeup brand deals. I'm thinking of like makeup artists, gurus that are on YouTube, or they end up starting their own business. That's really what happens. That's the biggest difference maker. So I do think that it can be a little bit of an illusion in terms of the fact that YouTubers are millionaires. It's not because of AdSense. And if you don't know what AdSense is, it's basically a YouTuber can earn a certain commission in the beginning or end or middle of a video when the ad plays. So yes, it does exist and it is a side hustle, but where I would say to earn money and create a great side hustle for you is it should stem from passion and not income. That's just my heart of hearts, truthful thoughts on it. I think that you need to figure out what you want in this life, what you are passionate about, and what fuels you, and then take it from there and grow it. Don't do it for the income because it'll fizzle out. You're not going to be the person that jumps out of bed every single morning and wants to do this. And one thing that, if you're just sitting there being like, but I have my corporate job and that's, serving me and it fuels my soul and all the things. If you're happy, then you're good. But like I said, I think it was yesterday, if your goal is Y and you are currently doing X activities, well, you're gonna have to start doing Y activities to meet Y in terms of outcome. And here's the thing that really, and I shared this yesterday also, the thing that really fueled me into action of actually starting a side hustle was at what point were we, all the work that Andre and I were doing in terms of our corporate jobs that we were just paying for our bosses, vacations. And really we're working towards our boss's dreams. We're working towards our boss's deadlines, our boss's dreams, our boss's dream home, our boss's dream boat. Like all of the things were for our bosses and not for ourselves. And that was something that I had a huge issue with. So I wanted to shift that and I wanted my actions to align with the life that we wanted to lead. And that was the shift that we made. And that was how I ended up jumping all the way into a side hustle. And that became my North Star was, what do we actually want? And this life can happen if we take matters into our own hands. It might be harder, but you are far more likely to jump out of bed in the morning when you are excited about your side hustle. And when you know that in time, if you just keep going, the effects of that side hustle could be a far greater reward than everything going to a boss. So I personally truly believe in a side hustle, even just if it lights you up inside and makes you happy. It is a great way of life and I wanted to touch on it. But I go over this in detail in the academy because I talk about branding, building a life on social media, how to build your business, how to create a product based off of something that matters to you and how to figure that out. So there's a lot of free videos about the Academy on this channel that you can go find. But if you want to go watch just the promo video for it on the Branding Academy website, just go on my website and you'll see it on there. And there's, like I said, there's branding, there is business building, there is income growth, there is all the things on there. So if you feel like you struggle with that, I've got you. And we're going to keep talking about social media growth, followership, all of those things. So if that interests you this week, that's what we're talking about. So I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, dude.
Let's go.